Yo people, welcome back to the channel. So the WBA have officially stripped Manny Pacquiao of his WBA Super World Welterweight title and therefore elevated Yordenis Ugas as the new Super title holder. Pacquiao was stripped by the WBA because of his inactivity. Pacquiao hadn't defended his title in 18 months and it didn't look like he was planning to anytime soon, as talks of Manny Pacquiao versus Ryan Garcia take place for a fight planned to happen in April or May. Therefore, Pacquiao was stripped of his title, which has subsequently been given to Yordenis Ugas, who could face Errol Spence Jr. in a welterweight unification fight next. So it seems obvious now that Manny Pacquiao will face Ryan Garcia next in what should be a massive pay-per-view success. It's likely that the fight won't be an exhibition, as rumours suggested, because with Pacquiao's welterweight title being stripped from him, there's no reason for Pacquiao to want an exhibition fight. Leave a comment telling me your opinion on Manny Pacquiao being stripped. Do you think it's a good thing, or do you think it's a bad thing? And tell me why. From my perspective, it's good that the WBA have stripped the title from Pacquiao because he was essentially holding up the welterweight division. The other champions in Spence and Crawford were waiting around to land that Pacquiao fight instead of actually fighting each other or the contenders of the division, as they wanted the big money opportunity against Pacquiao before he retired. As a result, the welterweight division was stagnating at world level to some extent. Therefore, as fans, we weren't getting the fights that we wanted to see, and the WBA in particular weren't getting the sanctioning fees from their title bouts. Pacquiao being stripped allows the division to thrive again, as the new WBA champion Yordenis Ugas will likely unify with the WBC and IBF champion Errol Spence Jr. in what should be a great fight for the fans, and one that will give the WBA the sanctioning fees that it needs to operate. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with my perspective on Manny Pacquiao being stripped of the title. Unfortunately, the winner of Spence vs Ugas will have 3 belts at welterweight, the remaining champion being Crawford with 1 belt. Now the reason that this could be bad is that if Spence wins, an undisputed clash between himself and Crawford could be even further out of reach, as the boxing politics will intensify, with Spence claiming that he's the A side in negotiations, with some validity for sure, considering he'll have 3 belts, but this could make negotiations with Top Rank and Terence Crawford more difficult, as he won't be satisfied with a lesser split of the money from a potential Spence vs Crawford fight. At this point, I am struggling to see Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford ever happening, to be honest. There doesn't seem to be enough money in the fight for the risk to be worth the reward for either man, at this moment in time at least. Let me know if you believe Spence vs Crawford will ever happen, or will it just be one of those mega fights that got away? But back to the potential fight between Manny Pacquiao and Ryan Garcia. I think this fight will definitely be Pacquiao's last as a professional. It's somewhat of a passing of the torch fight, where the young gun in Ryan Garcia beats the old head in Manny Pacquiao to take his place as one of, if not the biggest star in world boxing. Although it seems to be a passing of the torch fight, I do think that Pacquiao is the favourite in this fight. He hasn't fought in 18 months, however, he did beat a world champion in Keith Thurman, so I doubt Ryan Garcia, who was dropped in his last fight by Luke Campbell, who firstly isn't a big puncher, and secondly has never even won a world title, can defeat Pacquiao. It's important to recognise that the punch Garcia was dropped with, Campbell dropped Garcia with a southpaw straight left hand. That's Pacquiao's signature shot, so I could even see Pacquiao knocking Garcia out in that fight. Obviously there's a big height and reach difference between the two. However, Pacquiao has been fighting bigger guys his whole career, and that didn't stop him from being a success in those higher weight classes, as he is an 8-weight world champion. So I don't think Garcia's height and reach will really mean much against Pacquiao, especially with the limited experience that he has. But let me know your thoughts on the fight between Pacquiao and Garcia in the comment section. Like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and remember to turn on post notifications to stay notified whenever I upload a new video.